This is a special presentation from Mix TV.
Ready for a smile that feels as good as it looks? At Aesthetic Dental Institute, Dr. Henshaw specializes in transforming lives with dental implants, the permanent solution to missing teeth. And with IV sedation, you can relax and feel comfortable during any procedure. For those who need a full restoration, full arch implants give you back your smile in just one day. Call Aesthetic Dental Institute today at 918-775-4431. Aesthetic Dental Institute, where your beautiful, healthy smile is their top priority.
Ever wondered why your Mazzio's pizza tastes so good? In 3 words, Mazzio's Quality Pledge. We promise you real beef and sausage, real mozzarella, sauce prepared daily with Mazzio's special spices, dough made fresh every day, never frozen, and crisp garden veggies, freshly cut. For lunch or dinner, or any meal in between, each Mazzio's pizza promises top quality ingredients.
Mazzio's is better.
Hello, can anybody hear me out there?
Hey, Bob's not here right now, but if he was, I'm sure he'd be reminding you.
Hello, I seem to have locked myself in my dressing room.
That if you're in the market for a new or used car, truck, van, or SUV,
Little help here.
and you want the lowest possible price in that vehicle,
That's better.
you need to come see us here at the home of the low price cars.
That was the darndest thing. All right, 3, 2, 1. Hey!
Blue Ribbon Sallisaw, home of the low price cars.
What do you mean the commercial's already over?
With over a half-century of experience, manager Jim Cook and his staff at Evans & Miller Funeral Homes have been serving and helping LaFleur County residents honor their loved ones for over 200 combined years. They are committed to providing the highest quality funeral services for a fair and reasonable cost. From full traditional services to cremations, with a combination of service options, Evans & Miller Funeral Homes is here to serve you and your family in your time of need. Evans & Miller Funeral Homes, a tradition of trust.
Since 1902, Central National Bank has been serving Eastern Oklahoma with outstanding customer service. Our staff is friendly and honest, and we value your business. Whether you need loans for farming, ranching, small business, or home, Central National Bank is a great choice. As a division of First National Bank Fort Smith, CNB has many locations to serve you. For all of your banking needs, let Central National Bank deliver the level of service that you deserve.
Hear that? That's the sound of Bad Boy and Coyote tractors, Grasshopper and Skag zero-turn mowers, and Segway side-by-side. All that can be found at Red's Premier Outdoor Equipment. Red's is the largest lawnmower dealer in the area, featuring Grasshopper, Bad Boy, and Skag mowers. Red stocks Coyote and Bad Boy tractors for mowing, hauling, or brush hogging. See Red's Facebook page for monthly specials. Red's Premier Outdoor Equipment, 28871 Northside Lane in Poteau. J&D Steakhouse is Sequoia County's premier steakhouse, serving USDA certified 7 Oak steaks, burgers, and chops, as well as seafood, chicken fried steak, and amazing salads. Specials include Taco Tuesday, Wing Wednesday, Thirsty Thursdays, and more. Happy hour daily 4 to 6. J&D Steakhouse, a place for good food, friends, and family, and live music. 230 North Oak in Salisaw. Open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 to 9. J&D Steakhouse. Oh, it's good.
Hello and welcome to Mixed Media Days on Mixed TV. We're hosted once again here at J&D Steakhouse in Salisaw. Today we're joined by Coach Jake Hayes and his Poteau Pirates. He's beginning his 2nd season at the helm of the Pirates. Last year they finished 7-4, had a 4-3 district schedule. Big win over rival Salisaw to end the season. Coach, tell us a little bit about how last season went and how you managed to go 7-3 and miss the playoffs.
Well, I mean, we had a great year last year. I mean, I'm proud of our kids. There's a lot of changes that came with having me in Poteau. You know, there's a way of doing things that they had done for a really long time here, and so for them to be able to adapt to some new challenging things and be able to take on those challenges, but not just take them on, to really excel. Pretty proud of them. So started the year 7-1. Our one loss going into week 9 was against Ada, who ended up being the 2nd seed in our district last year, and so lost to them at home, and then we were 7-1 going into week 9 versus Hilldale. We'd beaten Salisaw in week 8. And so a big win for our program. I know it's a big rivalry here, but our kids really played well and kind of rose to the challenge of weather and opponent that I think is pretty good. I think Salsa does a really good job. Coach Tyler runs a really good program. So lucky enough to be going into week 9, 7-1, and we were up 22-0 going into the second quarter of that game. And we lost our quarterback, Sam Tekla, to a concussion. So, Sam, one of the most awesome things about high school football is that leadership plays a pretty big role, a much bigger role than I think people think. And so, when you lose a kid like Sam, he's not only your quarterback, your punter, your kicker on kickoff, your safety on defense, but man, he was the undisputed leader of our football team. And so, the next 6 quarters of our season kind of determined our outcome, but we didn't get it done. And so, these guys that are sitting around me right here, these 4 seniors, will tell you that we've invested a lot of time and energy and effort into our program this year trying to teach kids how to be leaders and kind of teach them what that means. I think a lot of times kids think that that's, yelling at their teammates, but really 90% of it is holding yourself to a high standard so that when it comes time to lead, people will listen to you. So really proud of these guys, man. We didn't get the result that we wanted last year. I stand by everything that they did as players and the effort that they gave. Ultimately it's on us as coaches to figure out a way to get back into the playoffs, which is what we expect to do every year. So really looking forward to the challenge of being in the hardest district in the state in Class 4A in Oklahoma, and we wouldn't have it any other way. So we're excited to kind of shake the dust off of our shoulders from last season and attack some new challenges. So we're excited, looking forward to it.
Coach, you're entering your second year at Poteau, and may I give you a history lesson?
Absolutely.
In 2012, Coach Warner's first season at Poteau, his first stint there, they had a winning record but missed the playoffs. His second year there, 2013, not only did they make the playoffs, they made it all the way to the 4A state championship game. Can history repeat itself this year?
Hey, I would say the world of possibilities is in our court. I mean, the great thing about football is that you need all these different skill sets. It's different than any other sport in that regard. In that other sports, there's a certain skill set that every player has to do. And I think one of my favorite things about football is, like you look at these guys around me, they all look different. They all bring different skills to the table, but we all need each other. And so I think the beautiful thing about football is that possibility is in front of us. It's going to take collective effort from our community and our kids and our coaches. And I tell these guys all the time, one of the things that we say in our program is we got everything we need and we got enough of what we want. And so, we show up every Friday night in Poteau and we expect to win. And so, yeah, I would say that's possible. That's something that we're striving for. There are no guarantees in football. That oblong ball doesn't always bounce the way that you think it will. But I would say with the work that these guys do and the coaching staff that we have and the community that we have, man, we expect to win every Friday night. And we're really thankful to live in a community where that's true. That's not just lip service. So.
Yeah, you mentioned the community support, and I've covered several games in Poteau during my time living in Fort Smith. And I mean, I would put Poteau's game night atmosphere against anybody in the state. Not only Oklahoma, but Arkansas or even Texas. It's just a magical atmosphere. Just describe what it's like to coach a Friday night game at Costner Stadium.
Well, it's awesome. I mean, and I didn't play at Poteau, so these guys can tell you a little bit. The magic is really in there with the players, to be able to play in front of their community and to be able to wear a jersey that represents where you're from. I think high school football, we're losing that a little bit. It used to be you grew up in this community and you never moved, you never transferred, you never did any of these things. And, pride was, this is where I'm from. I'm from Poteau, and I'm proud to play for our high school and represent our town and our community. And, the cool thing is that kind of still exists in Poteau, like you talk about. And so that is reflected in our Friday night atmosphere. I think, people show up that are alum. A lot of times you have schools where alum only show up when it's homecoming. And every single Friday night that we play at Costner, there's people that graduated and walked the halls of Poteau High School and wore a Jolly Roger on the side of their helmet. And a couple of their sons are playing and sitting next to me now. And so these guys will tell you, man, it's important. They don't want to be the class of players that has the letdown, that makes it not important. And so in order for that to be true, you got to have community support. You got to have people show up. You got to have great environment, like you talked about, great facilities, great band, all those things. But you got to have great tradition too. You have to have generations of people that have come before and have made it that way. And so not only do we have those people in the stands, we got them in our coaching staff too. And so really thankful for that. We could not have a better environment with Capitol Hill in the background, and that sun drops over the top of it pretty much as soon as that ball is kicked off, and it's special. And it's really, really awesome when the Pirates are playing well. So thankful to have another opportunity to do that.
Coach, you lost a lot of offensive talent off of last year's team, namely Spencer Perry, Sam Tekla, Camden Crew. Can you tell us about some of the guys that are going to step in and fill their slots?
Absolutely. Got a couple of them sitting behind me and next to me. All these guys will play a role for us offensively and defensively, but Javier sitting behind me, he was our third leading rusher last year. He'll have a massive role for us in our offense this year. He does a lot of things well and brings that toughness that kind of Poteau is known for. Logan Waymeyer was our second or third leading receiver that we returned from last year and had a couple really big plays for us in district last year. And we were even talking about on the way up, bringing a new offensive scheme. There's kind of a growing period when you go from doing one thing for so long to a new thing. And I think he doubled his catch total for his entire career in our season last year, and so he's a big play opportunity for us as well. We will replace all 5 offensive linemen, which is always a really big challenge. But the good news is we got guys like Aiden and guys like Jake who they've kind of been waiting their turn, to make an impact on Friday nights. They've been lifting weights for 5 or 6 years now. And I think as a high school coach, it always breaks my heart whenever kids do that and they don't get that opportunity. And so I'm really thankful in my heart that these guys are going to have a chance to kind of to get a payoff this year, And then, like you said, offensively, we will return. We'll return a couple, but we'll replace a lot. And so I think the cool thing about what we have in Poteau right now is we have a lot of young talent. There is a lot to be excited about for the future. And the cool thing, if you're a fan of Poteau football this year, is you're going to see some new faces make some really big plays for us. And those faces will be around for several years. And so kids like, Evan Adams and Wrigley Downs, Levi Taylor, who's kind of in the quarterback mix for us, some other kids like Kenyon Bledsoe, who's kind of been waiting his turn. And so we have a lot of young skill talent that I'm really excited about. We'll return a couple of kids that are still young. We got a kid on our team named Ryder Waddell who's already played a lot of football, but he's only at the halfway point of his career. So there's a lot to be excited about. I know we replaced a lot, but we got everything we need and enough of what we want. And I think these kids believe that. So it will be a growing process just like any season. But the team that you see in Week 10 will be significantly better than the team that you see in Week 0. So excited for those guys to have a chance.
Coach, you mentioned Ryder, and he's one of the best defensive players in the area too. Just kind of describe what he's like as a linebacker and what he's meant to the ball. And he's just a junior. You got 2 more years of him. Yeah, and he's. I tell Ryder every day, one of the things that's going to take him where he wants to go is I tell him to practice like you have no talent. And I think the cool thing about where he's at is we really believe in our development processes here. Our defensive coordinator played here. His name's Mike Odom. He has kind of made Poteau known for and synonymous with really good defensive play, but also specifically really good linebacker play. And so Ryder's pretty fortunate to have him as a mentor. And one thing that's a characteristic of a Mike Odom linebacker is, man, they're downhill players. They fit the run. They take really good footwork. They're reading their keys. And so I'm looking for Ryder to take even a bigger jump this year and being a perfectionist of his craft. And sky's the limit for him. I think he's had a really good offseason. He's put on about 20 pounds. He's weighing about 230 right now, and he played at about 210 last year. Had a good summer at camps. He's increased his speed, and so he'll have a chance to have a great year. And just like with all of our kids, it'll be up to him to put in the work and to keep showing up every day in practice and giving a great effort. And we expect that out of him, and that's what he brings us. So excited to have him on our team and thankful for that. So.
Coach, we all know how difficult the 4A4 district is. Talk to us a little bit about those opening 3 non-district games.
Yeah, listen, we have a little bit of history there with Metro. I think Metro actually, when they were in 4A some years ago, I think 10 or 15 years ago, they were actually in Poteau's district for a little bit. And so, it's a familiar opponent for our community. For these guys, they haven't played them in a couple years. I think in the last 8 or 9 years, Poteau is 2-2 against these guys, and so it'll be a contrast of styles. They're going to be more in no back sets, empty sets on offense. They're pretty multiple on defense as well, which is not something we typically see. So, our 2 communities kind of contrast in styles in that way in terms of how we play the game. But we've had some battles with those guys. Coach McCoy does a great job up there, man. He's really, really a smart football coach. They've had a ton of continuity there, so they've kind of had the same coaching staff for almost 20 years now. That will be a really good challenge for us. And I think, you talk about all 3 of them. All 3 of those opponents kind of represent challenges that we see in District 4A4. I think Tahlequah and Grove do a really, really good job in their run game of being multiple in their presentations and their personnel. And we see that every week in 4A4. Our district has some really, really good coaching and really, really good athletes. And so, we line up to play Sallisaw and Ada and And all the teams that beat us last year, they beat us because they were really, really explosive. And getting them down on the ground athletically is always going to be a challenge for any team. And so I like our first 3 non-district games because they represent challenges that we're going to have to conquer in order to make the playoffs and take that next step. So I think Metro is a great game for us. Tahlequah is a great game for us. And Grove, Grove is a District 4A3 opponent. So we could potentially see them twice if we were lucky enough to make the playoffs. So really, really a good schedule for us. It's definitely kind of cranked itself up a notch in terms of its difficulty, but I think that's something we need as a young program right now.
Coach, your second district game of the year, you're going to go down the proverbial mountain down to Broken Bow. And Broken Bow is probably considered the favorite to win district. Obviously, they got OU commit at quarterback. Going to be a challenge for your defense. Another X factor is going to be, they just put in turf over the offseason, so they got a new turf field. So what are your thoughts on playing at Broken Bow early on in your district schedule?
Well, they got a great venue just like we do. And listen, I'm just going to tell you, turf or no turf, Graydon House, it doesn't present much of a difference for him. He's pretty electric no matter what. And so I think it's awesome that they've upgraded their facilities. That's going to be a really special Friday night for both towns. And Coach Lang does a great job up there. I think they have definitely separated themselves in terms of the talent that they have and the job that they've done developing their talent, I think, as well, And so they came down to our place last year and beat us in Week 10. We had to win that game to go to the playoffs and didn't make it. 2 years ago, we went down to their place in Week 10 and they had to make it. Both teams had to make it to make the playoffs, and we beat them. And so, our games, those 2 guys, the last 2 years has been win or go home situation for both teams. And so both of our kids, both groups of kids will be familiar with that type of pressure, and it comes a little earlier in the season this year. So looking forward to going down there and seeing all the changes they've made. I've seen pictures of it and it looks great. And that's a historic stadium, kind of similar to ours. So it's going to be a great matchup, and those are the matchups you live for. You don't want to play in a district where you have weeks where you're not challenging yourself or doing things like that. No, we will have a challenge every Friday night this fall, come October especially. So excited to see how we match up against those guys because we know they're excellent. So,
Coach, you wrap up the season hosting Sallisaw on November the 6th. Well, I know we've got that game kind of circled on our calendar, as a game of the week candidate for a broadcast that week. Besides bragging rights and everything that goes along with that rivalry, what could be at stake in that game?
Everything. Everything could be at stake. I would say every team in our district in weeks 8, 9, and 10 will be playing for their season. And like I said, that's what we want. We want the pressure to be able to have the opportunity to do that. To have pressure in those games means you have opportunity. You have opportunity to extend your season. I think, with these guys, we didn't make it last year. And so one thing in coaching that I always try to tell the teams that I get to go to the playoffs is, man, you're fighting for a chance to be a family for one more week. That becomes the goal. The goal is winning, but you're winning so that you can continue to be with each other and to practice with each other and to play with each other. And so everything could be on the line. And I couldn't ask for a better way for both of our schedules to play out. I guarantee you Coach Tyler feels the same way. To have a chance to play a big game in Week 10 and have a chance to earn more time together. You never know. Both teams may have clinched a playoff spot by that point in time, but when it comes to Poteau, Sallisaw, I promise you everything will be on the line, and both those communities will be fired up and ready to go. And we will both be excited to put the ball down and compete against each other.
Coach, who's a guy that Poteau fans may not be familiar with right now, but they will be by the end of the season?
Oh man, I don't want to single anybody out. There will be that's a pretty big list for us right now. I would say we returned 13 kids on defense that either played significant time for us or started from last year, and so we experienced some growing pains on that side of the ball last year, and most of that was just related to being young and being inexperienced. There's something to be said for playing on Friday night for the very first time, and there's just stuff that happens that are youthful mistakes in that way. And so, defensively, those guys that played a lot of reps for us, man, by the end of the season, they were playing really good. Broken Bow scored 35 points on us, and I think that was like the second lowest total somebody held them to up until the playoffs. And so that doesn't mean anything because we lost the game, but to me, if we had played Broken Bow in Week 3 or Week 4, we would have struggled. I'm really proud of how our defense grew throughout the season last year and really had to sustain some pretty serious injuries to them as well. So you ask for names that are going to stand out, man. Look for those guys to kind of, as a unit, kind of reestablish themselves in our district as a power. Offensively, take your pick. We have a couple returners that you'll be familiar with, but we have tons of new guys. Wrigley Downs, Carson Cohen, Levi Taylor, Kenyon Bledsoe, Deacon King, Evan Adams. We just got another kid that moved to our community named Zion Nixon. He can have some role for us, whether it be offensively or defensively. And so, I mean, man, there will be somebody, I promise you. And our community will learn some new names and new faces. But no matter what, you'll see our kids play really, really hard. And I think that's what our community will be proud of.
Well, Coach, thanks for visiting with us. We're going to step aside for a moment, and we'll be back and let these young men introduce themselves, and we'll have a few questions for them.
Ready for a smile that feels as good as it looks? At Aesthetic Dental Institute, Dr. Henshaw specializes in transforming lives with dental implants, the permanent solution to missing teeth. And with IV sedation, you can relax and feel comfortable during any procedure. For those who need a full restoration, full arch implants give you back your smile in just one day. Call Aesthetic Dental Institute today at 918-775-4431. Aesthetic Dental Institute, where your beautiful, healthy smile is their top priority.
Ever wondered why your Mazzio's pizza tastes so good? In 3 words, Mazzio's Quality Pledge. We promise you real beef and sausage, real mozzarella, sauce prepared daily with Mazzio's special spices, dough made fresh every day, never frozen, and crisp garden veggies, freshly cut. For lunch or dinner, or any meal in between, each Mazzio's pizza promises top quality ingredients.
Mazzio's is better.
Hello, can anybody hear me out there?
Hey, Bob's not here right now, but if he was, I'm sure he'd be reminding you.
Hello, I seem to have locked myself in my dressing room.
That if you're in the market for a new or used car, truck, van, or SUV,
Little help here.
and you want the lowest possible price on that vehicle,
That's better.
you need to come see us here at the home of the low price cars.
That was the darndest thing. All right, 3, 2, 1. Hey!
Blue Ribbon Sallisaw, home of the low price cars.
What do you mean the commercial's already over?
With over a half-century of experience, manager Jim Cook and his staff at Evans & Miller Funeral Homes have been serving and helping LaFleur County residents honor their loved ones for over 200 combined years. They are committed to providing the highest quality funeral services for a fair and reasonable cost. From full traditional services to cremations, with a combination of service options, Evans & Miller Funeral Homes is here to serve you and your family in your time of need. Evans & Miller Funeral Homes, a tradition of trust.
Since 1902, Central National Bank has been serving Eastern Oklahoma with outstanding customer service. Our staff is friendly and honest, and we value your business. Whether you need loans for farming, ranching, small business, or home, Central National Bank is a great choice. As a division of First National Bank Fort Smith, CNB has many locations to serve you. For all of your banking needs, let Central National Bank deliver the level of service that you deserve.
Hear that? That's the sound of Bad Boy and Coyote tractors, Grasshopper and Skag zero-turn mowers, and Segway side-by-side. All that can be found at Red's Premier Outdoor Equipment. Red's is the largest lawnmower dealer in the area, featuring Grasshopper, Bad Boy, and Skag mowers. Red stocks Coyote and Bad Boy tractors for mowing, hauling, or brush hogging. See Red's Facebook page for monthly specials. Red's Premier Outdoor Equipment, 28871 Northside Lane in Poteau.
J&D Steakhouse is Sequoia County's premier steakhouse, serving USDA certified 7 Oak steaks, burgers, and chops, as well as seafood, chicken fried steak, and amazing salads. Specials include Taco Tuesday, Wing Wednesday, Thirsty Thursdays, and more. Happy hour daily 4 to 6. J&D Steakhouse, a place for good food, friends, and family, and live music. 230 North Oak in Sallisaw. Open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 to 9. J&D Steakhouse. Oh, it's good.
And we're back here at Mixed Media Days. We're going to ask these young men some questions now. First, we'll let them introduce themselves. We'll start here with you, Aiden.
Introduce yourself, bud.
I'm Aiden Derryberry.
Jake Graves. Javi Ortiz.
Logan Waymire.
I'm going to start with you, Aiden. What's your most memorable game you've played so far as a Poteau Pirate?
My most memorable game as a Poteau Pirate comes from when I actually first started playing football in Bandit football. I believe they changed the name now, but it was here at Coster Stadium when I got on the D-line as nose guard, and I was shaded to the right of the center. I was on the right side of the center, and I got through the line and tackled the running back, and it was possibly one of the best adrenaline rushes I've had, and one of the most memorable times that I remember.
Next question is for Logan. Logan, who is your favorite athlete?
My favorite athlete is Tylan Wallace, Oklahoma State 2018. He was one of my favorite receivers to watch growing up, and I really try to model my game after him. Obviously, so there's a big size difference there, but he was one of my favorite players to watch growing up, and I really would like to be like him.
This question's for Javier. What grade did you start playing football?
I started playing football in 3rd grade.
Next question is for Jake. Jake, what is your favorite sports movie?
Probably Friday Night Lights.
All right, this one's for Aiden. Other than Sallisaw, who would you say is your biggest rival?
I would like to say Metro Christian would be our next biggest rival.
All right, next question is for Logan. What music or artists do you usually listen to pregame?
Pre-game, I listen to a lot of country music mainly, like George Strait type of stuff, just kind of calm me down, get my nerves kind of relaxed before the game. I don't like to listen to like all the hype, the fast-paced music. Kind of gets my stress levels high and I can't calm down. It kind of makes me sweat before the game and it makes me nervous.
All right, question here for Jake. What's your favorite pregame meal?
Probably be a good old Brahms cheeseburger with the Brahms sauce.
Next question is for Aiden, kind of along those lines. What do you like to put on your hamburger?
I like to put caramelized onions, and you would actually grow the lettuce to get it warm, and then I like to slice a tomato and put it on it.
This guy knows how to burger.
Yeah, he does.
Question for Javier. Besides football, what's your favorite sport to play?
Favorite sport's definitely to do wrestling. Wrestling's my favorite sport.
All right, next question is for Jake. Jake, what is your favorite NFL team?
A lot of people are going to hate me for this, but probably the Dallas Cowboys.
I don't know. People might be excited about that.
All right, this question's for Logan. What would you say is your most memorable moment as a Poteau Pirate?
Most memorable moments probably in 8th grade against Fort Gibson. I hadn't scored a touchdown ever. I started in 7th grade, so I still had never scored at this point before. And I had an 86-yard pick six to seal the game away, put us up by 14, and that was my first touchdown ever.
Next question is for Aiden. Aiden, what is your favorite restaurant in Poteau or LaFleur County in general?
Warehouse Willie's.
I thought you might say that. It's a good one. This question is for Logan. What NFL or college player would you say most closely resembles your style of play?
Definitely Wes Welker. He kind of plays more in the slot. He's not going to go up over anybody. He's not giant, 6'3". He's kind of a littler guy, wide guy. He's going to run his routes right. He's going to make the catch when the ball's there, and he's going to get as many yards after the catch as he can every time.
Next question is for Javier. What's the best thing about playing football in Poteau?
It's the atmosphere and the support you get from all your teammates, from the crowd. All the moms come together. We have Thursday night dinners. It's just everyone being together all the time.
Javier, as a running back, who would you say is the fastest player on the team?
Fastest player on the team is definitely Jake Perry. He's a wide receiver. He's our corner. Really, really fast.
Next question is for Logan. What is your favorite video game?
Favorite video game is probably 2K27 basketball. I probably play that the most. Played a lot with a bunch of guys on the team. We all played together, and so yeah, probably 2K.
All right, this question's for Jake. We asked this question yesterday, and it was pretty unanimous answers across the board. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Absolutely not.
Okay. That seems to be a generational thing.
Next question is for Aiden. What's your favorite non-sports related movie?
Probably Hacksaw Ridge. I like historical movies, and I've always been into them.
All right, this question's for Logan. What's your favorite pregame tradition?
Probably lights out. Before every game, we turn out the lights for 10 to 15 minutes, kind of let everybody get in the zone. Everybody does what they need to do, get their tape on. They can nap, listen to music, whatever they need to do. And we're doing that every year I've been in high school, and it's definitely my favorite.
Next question is for Jake. Other than obviously your home stadium, what is your favorite stadium to play in?
Obviously any stadium that has turf, but one thing that I gotta say is any stadium that Poteau goes to, it's gonna be a tough game. And so any stadium probably.
All right, that's going to wrap us up here with the Poteau Pirates on Mixed Media Days. Thanks again to Coach Hayes and his squad for coming and visiting with us. Good luck this season, guys, and we'll see you sometime this season on the Mixed TV Game of the Week.
Ready for a smile that feels as good as it looks? At Aesthetic Dental Institute, Dr. Henshaw specializes in transforming lives with dental implants, the permanent solution to missing teeth. And with IV sedation, you can relax and feel comfortable during any procedure. For those who need a full restoration, full arch implants give you back your smile in just one day. Call Aesthetic Dental Institute today at 918-775-4431. Aesthetic Dental Institute, where your beautiful, healthy smile is their top priority.
Ever wondered why your Mazzio's pizza tastes so good? In 3 words, Mazzio's Quality Pledge. We promise you real beef and sausage, real mozzarella, sauce prepared daily with Mazzio's special spices, dough made fresh every day, never frozen, and crisp garden veggies, freshly cut. For lunch or dinner, or any meal in between, each Mazzio's pizza promises top quality ingredients.
Mazzio's is better.
Hello, can anybody hear me out there?
Hey, Bob's not here right now, but if he was, I'm sure he'd be reminding you.
Hello, I seem to have locked myself in my dressing room.
That if you're in the market for a new or used car, truck, van, or SUV,
little help here,
and you want the lowest possible price in that vehicle,
well, that's better.
you need to come see us here at the home of the low price cars.
That was the darndest thing. All right, 3, 2, 1. Hey!
Blue Ribbon Sallisaw, home of the low price cars.
What do you mean the commercial's already over?
With over a half-century of experience, manager Jim Cook and his staff at Evans & Miller Funeral Homes have been serving and helping LaFleur County residents honor their loved ones for over 200 combined years. They are committed to providing the highest quality funeral services for a fair and reasonable cost. From full traditional services to cremations, with a combination of service options, Evans & Miller Funeral Homes is here to serve you and your family in your time of need. Evans & Miller Funeral Homes, a tradition of trust.
Since 1902, Central National Bank has been serving Eastern Oklahoma with outstanding customer service. Our staff is friendly and honest, and we value your business. Whether you need loans for farming, ranching, small business, or home, Central National Bank is a great choice. As a division of First National Bank Fort Smith, CNB has many locations to serve you. For all of your banking needs, let Central National Bank deliver the level of service that you deserve.
Hear that? That's the sound of Bad Boy and Coyote tractors, Grasshopper and Skag zero-turn mowers, and Segway side-by-side. All that can be found at Red's Premier Outdoor Equipment. Red's is the largest lawnmower dealer in the area, featuring Grasshopper, Bad Boy, and Skag mowers. Red stocks Coyote and Bad Boy tractors for mowing, hauling, or brush hogging. See Red's Facebook page for monthly specials. Red's Premier Outdoor Equipment, 28871 Northside Lane in Poteau.
J&D Steakhouse is Sequoia County's premier steakhouse, serving USDA certified 7 Oak steaks, burgers, and chops, as well as seafood, chicken fried steak, and amazing salads. Specials include Taco Tuesday, Wing Wednesday, Thirsty Thursdays, and more. Happy hour daily 4 to 6. J&D Steakhouse, a place for good food, friends, and family, and live music. 230 North Oak in Sallisaw. Open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 to 9. J&D Steakhouse.
Oh, it's good.
You're watching Mix TV.